what do you do when you get the opportunity to send in a 30-second video about why you want to see the next seasons of One Chicago? For those who do not know, One Chicago consists of Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, Police Department, and Chicago Med, which is about the hospital and what's going on over there at the ER. Anyway, of course I did over 10 takes. I mean, try it, really. Try to get a message across in under 30 seconds. And not in daily life, but on the video. It's, well, if you manage to do it in one take, then I applaud you. Well, I can't. Anyway, there were a few things I wanted to get across. For one, I love to listen to the interviews of the actors, and there is actually one which is really hilarious, and it basically says, Dick Wolf's stuff never suck. One looks at the other like, oh my god, this is so wrong. I shouldn't have said it like this. So I actually gave it a little twist so it sounds a little bit better. Anyway, I've been binge watching especially Chicago Fire during the beginning of the corona pandemic, and I lost a client back then. And by watching those shows, it actually taught me that I cannot keep myself accountable for what happened. And, you know, watching those firemen being distraught by the choices they have to make, and sometimes not being able to go in there and save the other people, it really gave me a new perspective on things. And it helped me deal with the most difficult times in my life. So, of course, there was Chicago PD, the crossover. And as I suppose as many out there, I was looking at the character Hank Voight, and I was like, what the heck? What's happening? He comes back? What happened? So, I started watching Chicago PD. I mean, I had seen the occasional shows, but not that many, because I'm in the Netherlands, as in Europe. So I only am able to watch all those shows whenever I'm in the US. And of course, because of the pandemic, I cannot be. But I did find a little trick, which gave me the opportunity to watch some of those shows out there. Anyway, those who know me, I mean, I use Lady Lexi's life on the road. Why? Because I love to travel and I like to document things. I'm curious by nature, and hence why I also love to interview people and see what makes them tick, and see how I can nurture what's inside of them, and where needed, give them a voice if they all don't already have that voice, and those who already have that voice, how they can inspire other people out there. And by the way, even those who do have the voice, going on about that, yeah, that's possible. I do these future vision interviews, and it can be so interesting to see what happens. And I like to go to the extreme, you know, and I just pretend that we're a year from now, that day, in the same location. And then I'm just going to, you know, I'm making it as big, as huge as possible. And you should see the people when that happens. Okay, so back to One Chicago, and under 30 seconds, which I still think is fairly impossible. I think it's a little over 30 seconds. So please, Joe, don't mind it. What I love about Chicago PD is it shows what's going on over there. And quite honestly, being in Europe, especially in the Netherlands, we are a very multicultural country, the Netherlands specifically. And yeah, growing up, I was one of the few out there actually with dark brown eyes and black hair. And the rest was all blue eyes and blonde hair. Of course, except for my mom, I look after her. You know, when it comes to my looks and when it comes to my character, I'm more like my dad. And I didn't realize that I was different or that we were different. My dad wasn't. He was the tall guy, you know, 2 meters, 6'6", with blonde hair and green brownish eyes. But then I would look at those pictures, the school pictures, and of course, back in those days, you know, when we had those instant cameras, not like today, but the expensive ones, we didn't have that many pictures. We just didn't. So whenever I would see myself, it was like, whoa, I look different compared to the rest of the class. And because of it, I was always... I was an introvert. I was withdrawn. I was a daydreamer. And I didn't really know how to deal with all of it. Fast forward, here I am. And being on video, that's totally changed. But to a degree, I can understand what's going on. But that's exactly it. Because, you know, when I go to the US, then I'm looking at people, you know, all colors, all different roles. And to me, that's normal. I mean, I live in the Netherlands, and okay, there are not that many people who have that such a dark complex, such a dark skin. But as for all other people, I mean, yeah, there are so many people out there who we are travelers by nature. So I love going to the US, seeing things, sharing my stories, doing interviews with people, especially when I'm at a convention of some sort. I love going to the ones where we get to learn stuff, like the ones from Brendon Burchard. Sorry, I had to say that name. And yeah, watching One Chicago, it makes me curious. It's not like I would like to be there in the winter. It seems to be really cold. I think it's cold enough here. And whenever there's snow here, I mean, I like the fun of it, and that's about it. We're a country which uses bikes, and try using a bike when there's snow. And also I use crutches and slippery when wet. Yeah, exactly that. So what I also like is the way that the people are portrayed. So there's a lot of thought going into the development of the characters. And of course, I guess that the role Jason McGay is playing and Hank Voight is well, maybe the epiphany of it all. I mean, you can really look at him from two sides. Is he the good guy? Is he the bad guy? Well, he's the good guy who does some stuff we can frown upon, but basically because of the good reasons. But yeah, we also have to abide according to certain rules. And yeah, how do we do it? And looking at the frustration, I remember that car where he was smashing, I don't know what the word is in English, but the garden tool, let's put it that way, in the front window of that car. You know, I totally got it, why he was so frustrated. But also everything around Chicago fire. Now, the sad thing is that I only got to watch Chicago up until season 4, so 5 and onwards. I haven't seen yet. Then I would have to buy the DVDs, which at some point I likely will do. But yes, that's a totally different story. I was always fascinated by Backdraft when it came out, up to a point that when I was in LA, I went to the Universal Studios and I was on the set. I could see the fire and I thought it was really amazing. And I don't know, for some reason there was this attraction, not that I want to be a fireman or firewoman, as you would say it in the Netherlands. Yeah, we make a distinction between men and women and what they do. Can't help it, it's the way it is. We also have this thing, put it between brackets, and then you can choose the M for male or the F from female, and then cross out what's not needed, which is basically what I normally say. But you know, seeing that, I always think it's exciting to see it. And you know, I really would love to be on the set one day and just look around and see what's going on and talk to the people and yeah, do some interviews, seeing how their perspective can change the world. You know, I do believe that because of all the roles that they've played, the things that they've seen, the people that they've talked to, that there's a broad perspective on what's going on out there. And well, it would be interesting to share it some more with the world. But of course, if I would do so, I wouldn't be asking the standard questions, because some of them I've been seeing over and over and over again. And I'm like, okay, I liked it the first time. I might still like it, but sometimes we want something new and amazing and even more inspiring. Anyway, I ended the video with, if you look at this, oh, well, hang on. Yeah, I might edit it in later on. Then people might realize why I want to see the ending of, or the beginning of the new season. And I might add that I understand that the shows really suddenly stopped recording. And actually I was in LA when it happened, and everybody was asking me, aren't you worried about going back home? And I was like, well, I need to be able to go back home, so why wouldn't I? But truth be told, one of the American Airlines, I think it was American Airlines actually, stopped flying that week. And fortunately, I chose United Airlines, and that got me back home. But I still see the, you know, I was on this red eye, and I think we were with 9 people, the crew, and then 2 or 3 passengers, including me. And that was, yeah, that was weird. Comfortable, but it was weird. And then being in the airport, it was totally quiet over there. With the exception of Starbucks. I could still go to Starbucks, but it was quiet over there too. Yeah, that was weird. And we still cannot go to the US, by the way. I mean, people from the US can come over here, and some of my friends already did, but we are not allowed to enter the US. Yeah, we're just not allowed to enter it. So yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. But I do know that whenever I can do so again, I definitely hope to discover a little bit more of the US and the people there. And I definitely want to go see Chicago then. Not just go to the conventions like I usually do, and not just watch, not just go visit my friends. So yeah, that would be interesting. Anyway, what is your dream and what would you like to do? And if you had to share something in under 30 seconds, what would it be? Let me know. Dick Wolf's shows never suck. I totally agree, and that's one of the reasons I really would like to do an interview with the guy himself and the actors, especially because not only the detail is tremendous and I want to go and explore Chicago, but especially because people are given a voice. And being a coach myself, you give a voice to other people. I only can applaud this. And with this ending, how can we not look forward to next season?